The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the webinar for SOV LINC. This is a webinar particularly for users of the system. My name is Amy Rogers, and I'm a trainer for the Achievement of Public Service under the Department of Human Resources. This webinar will provide you with some basic navigational tools and understanding of SOV LINC. And if you're wondering what LINC stands for, it's Lead, Innovate, Navigate, Connect. This is the new learning management system for the state of Vermont. AOT already went through their implementation of the system a few months ago for their employees. And then AHS and the Department of Public Safety will also implement for their teams by the end of the year. So the system will be the same across the state. The interfaces for each group will look a little bit differently when they go live. I encourage you as we go through this webinar that you have open or available the handout for users, which you can find as an attachment to your little webinar screen, or use the attachment that's also on our website. I have muted all of you, just so you know, but I do encourage you to type in any questions you have in the question area, and keep in mind that I'm running this solo, so I'll check the question area periodically, but if I don't get to your question right away, that's probably why. So let's begin. So the way that the system works is you first have to log in, and this is our login screen that you see right now. Don't pay attention to the link in the link box. This is for our pilot site. I'm not using our live site for training purposes, obviously. But the link is in the handout, and you can make a bookmark of that in your computer. So the first thing we're going to do is type in our username or email address. And so I'm using Charlie Brown as one of our test users. On the day that you go live, your agency or department goes live, you will receive an email from us with your username, so to speak, information, as well as your password into the system. The first time you log in with that password, you will be prompted to change your password input and create a new one. So you can contact us, and I'll give you information if the day that your group goes live, if that doesn't work, but it should work, and then you can change and, of course, make a note of your password somewhere. So I am going to log in for Charlie Brown, and you can see also to the left of this blue box, if you forgot your password, you can click on that link and the system will help you. It has security questions that you're going to set up that will help restore your password. Or if you need your password reset, you can contact the VTHR help desk at this number or this email. So I'm going to click enter and enter into the system. Also, if you're looking for information on the go live dates, we are starting October 10th through October 20th, and we're doing in a tiered phase approach. The information connected to what group is going live when can be found on our website page, and I'll show you that towards the end of the webinar. So this is what we're calling our welcome page looks like. So the first time someone logs in, as I said, you'll have to change your password, but every time you log in, it'll say welcome in your name. There's a little description of the site, and then I'm going to go through all of the aspects of the site for you. So first, we're going to talk about this navigation bar, which is this blue bar at the top. So the first piece is home. So if you're anywhere in the site and you need to come back to this welcome page, if you click on welcome, it'll bring you back directly to this page. The second is the universal profile, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later because there's a lot more aspects of that. And you can add, one of the beauties of the system I should add is that you can access different parts of the system in multiple ways. So it makes it really easy if you forget how to get to one place in one way, there's another way that in the system that you can find things. The next tab is learning. Here you can view your transcript. So one of the great pieces of our new system is that at any point in time, you can see your transcript in the system. For historical data that we have in VTHR and that may exist in some of your other systems for the state, such as TRMS or other data sources, each group has decided different data to move into the system. So when we go live, you may not see all of your classes in there. And that's because we did not bring in every training that people took since the beginning of time. That would have broken the system before we even started. So we did go back a few years. I think AOT went back and most of their trainings are in there, and I think AHS is doing it a different way. So just keep that in mind, that your transcript may not have all the information and all the trainings you've taken forever. There's also an events calendar, which allows you to look at the events that we have offered on a calendar range, so you can see every day what trainings are offered, which is pretty great. And then we have browse for training, and as I said, there's multiple ways that you can browse for training in the system. We also have a contact us page. So this is, I'm going to click on this because it's useful information in terms of making sure you know who to contact if you have questions. So this is the Contact Us page for CAPS, the Center for Achievement in Public Service. So we have here our email address, the website, our address, as well as the social media places for HR. So this is important to kind of keep in mind if you have questions while you're in the system or if you need help, who to contact. So if we go back to our welcome page, we also in the upper right-hand corner have our search bar right here, where you can type in the name of a class, you can type in the name of a person, you can type in the name of a video that we might have in there, and all of those things will be brought up. So I'll show you as an example. So if I type in Charlie Brown, there's Charlie Brown. And then there's another Charlie in the system. If I type in the name of a class, or start typing in, you'll see all of the classes that either that's in the title or it might be a keyword or a subject area for those classes. So if you click on any of those, it'll bring that class up. Now next to the search bar, we have our universal profile. So we're going to go more into detail there, but as I said, you can access the universal profile here or you can access it under Home. And then next to the universal profile is where you can access your account, where you can get help at any point in the system, whatever page you're on. If you click on help, it will bring up a help section and it can help you navigate. And then where you can also log out. Now on the main page itself, we have an announcements area. So this will be helpful for those folks who work for AHS and DPS especially, because we'll have information there as those systems are going live. And then also if there's any trainings that are available across the state. So say AHS is offering a training that anyone across the state it's open to, we'll put that in the announcements. But there will also be in the search bar, there'll be information when you type in the name of the training or the name of any training, those classes will also pop up as options for you to take. So it's a pretty great expansive system across the entire state. Next to that, we also have our buttons. So the first button is Browse All Classes. That's another way that you can look for classes in the system. You just click on that and it'll bring up a whole list of all of the classes. We also have these 3 pages here, these buttons that lead to custom pages. The first is for supervisory training. So if we click on that, it provides information about supervising in state government classes that CAPS offers. The first is Stepping Up to Supervision, which is open to anyone across the state who's interested in becoming a supervisor. Then we also have SSG1, which is required of all supervisors, and SSG2. If we go back to our welcome page, the next button is on the VCPM, or the Vermont Certified Public Manager Program. So this page provides information about the program, some basics, and when the application process is open, this button will be available with an application for those people who are interested in applying to attend that program. And then the final button on our welcome page is the custom and consulting, custom trainings and consulting. So this just provides a little information for those folks who are interested in our coaching services or our custom training services across the state. So now the last part of our welcome page are these 3 boxes at the bottom, which we call widgets. So the first one are new trainings that are just added. These are trainings that may be new to the state that we're marketing. It may be a training that we think you might be interested in, trainings that we have new dates available for. So we're going to put those in that box. The middle box is called My Inbox. This is where you as a user will see information connected to you. So your transcript, it says view transcript. You have one approved training and registered for one training. So that's where another place where you can view your transcript. There's multiple places to do that. And then this last box are your upcoming trainings. So this shows you trainings that you have that are coming up in the future. So Charlie Brown has registered for the basics of motivational interviewing. It doesn't say that it has a due date, which means sometimes there'll be actions in here that you need to do that have a set date you need to do it by. And then emotional vital signs. So it looks like that was a class that they were registered for that they now have to select a session for. One of the other pieces that's new to the system is that supervisors can assign trainings to their teams. So it's a really great career development opportunity for supervisors to kind of help their teams out or say, I want this entire team to take this class. You might have something that shows up down there that your supervisor's assigned to you and you need to select a session. We are telling and asking supervisors as a best practice to make sure they have a conversation with their team around that so that the team is aware of it before it shows up in their upcoming trainings area. Okay, so now we're going to move on to how do we browse for training. So as I said, there's multiple places you can do that. You can go into the Browse All Classes button, and that will bring up a list. You can also go into the search bar in the upper right of the screen. That will also provide a list of trainings. Or you can go under Learning and click Browse for Training. So first let me show you the events calendar so you can see that view, and then we'll browse for some trainings. So events calendar is by month, and it shows you the trainings that we have listed for each month. If you click on them or just hover over them, it gives more information. But if you click on them, you can actually sign up for them. And it tells you the date, the time, the location, and a description. On the left-hand side, you can choose to look at a different month. You can choose your different display options and filters. It's a really great feature, and especially of locations. If you want only trainings that are close to you, you can choose your personal location. So now let's browse for training. So when we click on Browse for Training, any trainings that are available to you will show up in this list. So we can, with the new system, only have trainings that are available to supervisors, such as SSG, or Supervising in State Government. Only on their view, that's what they'll see. But as a user, if you're not a supervisor or manager, you won't see that. So any of the trainings listed here are available to you. You can tell this is our training site because our very first class here is Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting. That won't probably be on our live site, but just to show you, we can put videos in here. So there's different icons to show you what the different options are. So we have events, which are the little calendar items, such as coaching essentials for non-management and supervisors. We have materials, which could be an article, a handout, a worksheet, those kinds of things that are listed with the little folder and the disk. And then the last one is the video, which is the little circle with the arrow in the blue box. So any of these trainings are trainings that you can sign up for as a user of the system, which is pretty great. So now let's say that we want to sign up for a training. So for Charlie Brown, I'm going to choose, let's see, Maintain Morale in Challenging Times. So if we click on it, it's going to bring up a new box. And in that box, it's going to give us information about the system. So this is what the class, so it gives a description, it gives us the people who are offering the training, so caps, how long the training is. This one's free. And then we can request it. So down here it says the session numbers, it gives us the actual dates and time. So if this works for us, we're going to hit request. It also tells us how many openings are available. And this is really useful. We'll come to the waitlist piece in a little bit, but that can be really useful to know how many openings are available in the class. So I'm going to hit request. When I hit request, the system will say, okay, this user is requesting this class. Now, what happens in the system is that it's going to send an email to your manager or supervisor to approve your request. There are some trainings in the system where we don't need manager approval, but the majority of them we do. So when that request goes to your manager or supervisor, once they approve that request, they'll get an email, then you will be registered into that class and it'll show up on your transcript. Easy as pie. Then when you complete the class, that also goes into your transcript that you completed. If you no-show, withdraw, or cancel from the class, that's also something that your manager will know. Okay. So now it shows that maintaining morale in challenging times, this is my transcript as Charlie Brown, it's now listed here. So fantastic. From here you can see it has a withdraw button. If you do need to withdraw from a class, and we ask that you do that as soon as you know you can't attend, you click on the withdraw button. If you click the arrow going down, by the way, it just shows you can view other details about it as well as withdraw. So if we click on withdraw, this window will pop up. So I'm going to make it a little bigger. There we go. So if you withdraw your registration, you'll immediately be withdrawn from the roster. It gives all the information about the class. Then you can select a reason. So you can put in whatever reason works for you. Travel disruption, supervisor cancel, personal reasons. Type in a reason, and then you hit submit. So now this will be listed as a withdrawn class in my transcript. So right here, if you can see next to, it says select session. So it shows up on my transcript, but my status here is withdrawn. So if I did want to take that class again, I could select session and choose another session of the class. Pretty cool. So now I want to show you another way to look at classes. So there is a, say that we wanted to take a class where there was, it was full and we couldn't, there was no slots for us. So I'm going to go to want motivated, dedicated, and excited employees. So if a class is full, there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can just ignore it and not do anything. But two, say that you wanted to take the class. So this class, it's not even showing anymore, but there was a class on here that was listed as full. So you would go to the wait list. So you can, there's a button. If you look in your handout on page, here we go. On page 5, it talks about notifying of new sessions and being on the wait list. So for notify me of new sessions, that's one option. So say there's no sessions, other sessions available, like we see here, there's no sessions listed. If we wanted to be notified as soon as new sessions of this class were scheduled, we could click on notify me of new sessions, and it would pop up a window where you can select a location, put in your comments, or you can be notified of sessions at any location across the state, which is pretty cool. If it was a wait list, you would click the button that you want to be on the wait list. And what would happen is as the spots become available, you would receive an email that those spots are available and that you can now sign up for the training. Okay, so now let's look at universal profile. So up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, the picture of Charlie Brown, the little face picture, we're going to click on that. So this brings up our universal profile page. The first page is the bio page. Information in here is brought in from VTHR. So there's nothing, if there's an email is wrong, your location is wrong, your title is wrong, your department's wrong, your manager's wrong, that's information that we ask you go to your HR admin because that needs to be fixed on the back end of the system. So that needs to be fixed in VTHR. Because we get a data feed every day from VTHR, we can't fix that in the system ourselves. It has to be fixed on the back end. But in here, you can go in and if you click on the little pencil, you can create a summary. You can put in subjects that you're interested in. And then you can also see your team. So this is, you can see Charlie Brown and his boss is Franklin Armstrong, otherwise known as Vince Vaughn. And so then your manager can also see all of their team and also can look at your transcript and see what classes that you have. If we go to the transcript page, it shows us classes that are currently active. It allows us the opportunity to withdraw from classes if we wanted to. If we go to complete, if we check on the completed box, it will also show us classes that are listed as complete. Now say we wanted to print out a transcript if we needed it for college or if we needed it for some other purpose or job search. From here you can print a transcript or you can export it to a PDF. The other option we have in here is also adding external trainings. So let's say that you took a training outside of the state that you want to add into your transcript here because it's related to the work you're doing for the state. You can do that. So if you click on the external training button, we ask that you fill in the information connected to the title, who offered the training, the dates, how many hours or credits, and then we want you to upload some sort of certificate of completion. So we don't want everyone to give us their college transcripts or that kind of stuff. All the information connected to your training in VTHR is still there. We're not removing that or losing that, but we want people to just be wary of what training they do add into external training and make sure it's connected to the work that they're doing for the state. So next we're going to go to the little gear next to the universal profile. So this is where you can access your account, the help function, and how to log out. So let's go to My Account first. So on the My Account page is where you can upload your picture. So we ask that all users in the system upload a picture that is like a professional, appropriate headshot. So if you click on the little arrow next to that, you can hit, it'll say add, but now it says change or delete, and put in a picture in there. It's very simple. You can click if you're going to be on vacation. Just make sure you unclick it when you're back, and then you can select a signature. These two pieces, the vacation and signature boxes, are kind of connected to other functionality that we don't currently have, so I wouldn't worry too much about those. And then under the options arrow is where you can change your password if you'd like, or edit security questions in the system in order to do a password reset. Okay. The other piece is the help function. So if you are ever in the system and you're lost, if you click on help, whatever page you're on in the system, the help button will bring up help related to that page. So here it shows me how to change my picture and what my options are and what I can do. So it's a really useful help functionality for those folks as we're just learning how to use the system. Okay. So that's kind of the basics of the system. As I said, we do have the handout that I kind of somewhat followed for this webinar. And there's also going to be a copy of this webinar on the website if people want to refer back to it. And there will be a copy of frequently asked questions that will also be available as soon as we go live. We ask that if you are doing some troubleshooting at the back end of the handout, there's information on pop-up blocker and some Excel, because if you do use some transcript options, there's an Excel file option that will come up. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact us at dhr.caps. So I'm going to see now if there's any questions. It looks like there's one. Ooh, let's see if I can open that. Well, that's a big one. How does the system know who is their supervisor? So as I said, that does come from VTHR. So if the information in VTHR is incorrect, the information in the LMS is incorrect. So you'd have to talk to your HR admin. This says, in my department, we have employees that report to more than one. Yeah, so what the system will do is only bring in one supervisor, and it'll be connected to the main job that you have with the state. So people may have multiple supervisors, but whatever their supervisor of record is in VTHR is what will have be brought in over into the system. Okay, the next one. Do the Knowledge Wave trainings taken need to be uploaded into State of Vermont LINC, or will the course offerings for Knowledge Wave cross-post into SOV LINC automatically? So right now, we will be moving those classes over. It hasn't happened yet, and we're working out the process, but those classes will be. So there's no need for you to add those in externally at this point. If that changes, we'll let everybody know, but the Knowledge Wave classes we will be bringing over. And any FirstNet or the FirstNet classes that people have taken too will be brought over. As I said, not since the beginning of time, but up until the past couple of years. When do we get a user ID and password? So that will you will get a user ID and password the day that your group, your department, agency goes live. The schedule for that can be found on our website, on the CAPS website. Let me show you that actually. So here on the Department of Human Resources, under Statewide Training and Development, there's a link for SOV LINC. And if you scroll down where you all signed up for webinars, it shows you the dates that the different groups are going live. On that day, members of that group will receive an email with their password information. Let's see. If a department wants to add a training in Cornerstone, how do they do that? That's a great question. So what I ask is if people from other departments or agencies want to add in trainings, that they contact us here at CAPS, dhr.caps@vermont.gov, and we can work with them on adding trainings into our system for their people to sign up for. Okay, it looks like that's the last of the questions that we have. If there are any further questions, as I said, please feel free to contact us. Please also spread the word, tell your coworkers, tell your team about the system and how cool it looks. And we look forward to helping you as you learn to navigate and use the system to help your professional development. Thanks so much for attending and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.